24, Driving Business.
Well, good evening and many thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jerome Paul Sonko, Winnie Nakau Chief for Sign Language. It is time for your daily report with Business Today. And right now we kick it off with our very first report regarding the Uganda National Bureau of Standards that has actually been convicted. The Parliamentary Committee on Trade has grilled Uganda National Bureau of Standards over contracting presumably fake companies to carry out pre-export verification and conformity. The oversight visits to Dubai and India have offered discoveries of informality and fraud tendencies among contracted companies such as HQTS, Bureau Ventures and Intertech, among others. Samla Hanifa has more.
Uganda National Bureau of Standards contracted 6 certification service providers, among which is Helmsman Quality and Technology Services, Bureau Veritas, Intertech, Society General D Surveillance, Quality Inspection Services and TUV to inspect and certify products imported into Uganda, as well as ensuring that such comply with the applicable local standard and technical regulations before shipment. Discoveries from the Committee on Trade, however, placed some of the companies visited in both India and Dubai in the lane of fraud of informality.
But what we found out in India with that HQTS something, they have no office around here in Kampala, and in India they went to an old building and just put stickers. We asked for documents. They said they didn't have any documents, but what they had was just on the computer. So I don't know what you went to do really to investigate. And we asked them whether there is any company that has so far applied to be inspected that is importing goods to Uganda. And we found that there is no company that even had applied.
A member on the contracts committee advised against awarding HQTS this contract. However, the contracts committee went ahead and awarded this company. May we know what prompted the contracts committee, even after the advice of such a senior personnel, to award HQTS that contract?
Madam Chair was the lead of delegation for the Dubai team, specifically. As people have been doing other businesses and interacting with other people, we saw that these were actually HQTS was a fake company. Anyone could see that. How come that you didn't see that? Did you just follow the documents and you didn't do other verifications or background checkup?
Uganda's market transparency has been painted with quality assurance gaps among imports and export commodities, with the recent Juba standoff a clear illustration. According to legislators, it is so absurd that even the contracted companies are not executing their assigned job, with unchecked spike in counterfeit products that are flocking the market.
Because as you can see, we have a lot of counterfeits on the market, a lot of counterfeits. And we are wondering if we have UNBS that oversees the quality of the products, and where it can't be, they have service providers in names of companies that are supposed to do work on behalf of this country, work on behalf of UNBS, to ensure that the consumers here really consume something that is safe. And if they are not doing their work, then what happens to the consumers? It is really a very big risk.
You increase from 3 to 6. And in your submission to this committee, you're saying that you realize that you've noted that there's improvement, significant improvement within the 4 months already after procuring 6 companies. And yet our findings, both from India and Dubai, tells us that these companies are finding it difficult because they don't have enough work. The companies that have come into play have become too many, and yet we see even the number of companies, of goods that are being verified not even increasing.
In retaliation to the allegations, UNBS confirmed due diligence having been performed prior to contracting the quoted companies. Among its recommendations, HQTS wasn't to be contracted, although it turned out otherwise.
I rely really 100% on the other processes that they have done their work. Then mine is only to confirm that nobody is complaining. But on Honorable Aga, the contracts have provisions of termination, but we have been focusing more on performance. Honorable, actually, you have given me a lot of insights on what your findings are, which actually will be forming key parameters for our next monitoring, because in that contract, we are supposed to be having annual performance audits and monitoring.
The Contracts Committee has subsequently been reckoned to appear next week and explain why they went ahead to contract non-performing companies.
Meanwhile, we still demand for documents of evidence, the Contract Committee minutes, where the head of procurement advised the Contracts Committee on the recommendation of the Evaluation Committee.
Samlanifa, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now moving forward, we talk micro-insurance, as the insurance sector has finally ventured into the microfinance space to leverage micro-insurance. With insurance products of up to 50,000 shillings, the unbanked population is next onto the agenda. And Letshego as well as Turako combined to initially offer health insurance, targeting 3,000 customers by end of the month. Now, emergencies such as illnesses, accidents and death are all covered. Ronan Ahabwe reports. All right, now, sorry for those particular technical issues, but we'll definitely be having our report running in the long run. Now, as we continue, we took the troubled Karuma hydropower project, which has had a timeline of completion for the vandalized section to Kawanda set to near in September. Now, following the Prime Minister's field visit to the 1.7 billion project, whose completion is reportedly at 99%, the UEGCL was tasked to explain why regional areas are still unconnected to the grid, despite power being sold to neighboring countries. Interestingly, power from the dam is expected to be higher than the usual market price, owing the project's high capital expenditure. Samuel Kirimunda reports.
Despite completion being rated at 99%, operation of Karuma hydropower project will have been a far-fetched one, characterized by a series of construction mishaps loan refinancing before completion, and the outlier power cost due to the high capital expenditure in the 1.7 billion financing cost. According to UEGCL's Albert Biaruhanga, all civil works are complete despite long-term challenges, and the Karuma-Kawanda transmission line that was previously vandalized by ill-motivated people currently worked on.
Completion, the power station works, which is the hydropower project, completion stands at 99.4%. The transmission lines is 99.7%. Then lastly, the corporate social responsibility projects, completion is at 100%, and these were handed over. Under the EPC contract, the contractor offered and pledged to undertake corporate social responsibility projects, 3 in number, which was 2 hospitals and a primary school. They were capped in terms of budget to $1.5 million. So after doing a feasibility study, we zeroed on Dichwinyi, which is in Oyam. There is a general hospital at a level of health center 4. Then the other one is Masindi Barracks.
On a field visit to the site, amidst impression, the Prime Minister put the project engineer Biaruhanga to explain why some regional areas such as Lira are still disconnected from the grid despite the energy export to neighboring countries.
We must guard this project jealously, because it is the umbilical cord of our development. The President has already made his directives. I can see most of them have been implemented. So the remaining ones, like having so many transformers, this we shall handle with the ministry to make sure that at least most towns are connected to power, and to make sure that all those small, even these small industries are connected to power.
In light of the growing energy demand locally and through international trade, the State Minister for Energy, Okasai Opolot, confirms the country's needs to construct more power stations to address the deficit.
3 dams which we can construct: Oriang, Ayago, and Keba, just downstream. We need to bring them on now. And we should not wait until the time when we need that power. We should actually move very fast now to start a new project, because this one is virtually at the end of it and takes 10 years to construct a plant like this one. So if we don't start now, we risk to run short of power. And we need to implement that strategy. Right, Honorable Minister, Prime Minister, you know we're talking of getting into nuclear. It is because of the need to increase our power generation. So we have dropped 40 megawatts in the substation. And for now, it can start to run that one factory which is coming up in Moroto. But we need actually to construct and strengthen that line which delivers electricity to eastern Uganda. Because the line which is constructed for Moroto is a 132 kV, which can actually deliver up to about 80 or 120 megawatts to Moroto. The moment we stabilize the power in Soroti through the line which is running eastwards, then we shall be able to deliver stable power to Moroto to run the industries which are being established in Moroto. So it is urgent as to actually secure resources to strengthen this line which evacuates power not only to the east, but that power is actually destined to go into Kenya.
The Prime Minister further illustrated the need for vigilance to address vandalism, currently a vice that has eluded the country growth and expansion in the energy sector.
In March, we had 3 meetings. One was in December, when people had just vandalized our pylons. Then Feb and March, we came up with solutions that somebody who will be caught stealing or vandalizing our pylons will be handled like a terrorist. These terrorists are worse than ADF. They are why? They are failing us to industrialize. We cannot industrialize without power. And so I want to warn these terrorists, or those people who want to vandalize our power lines, that time is up. Please don't go there. If you do, you know the cost.
With the 600 megawatt project, Karuma is expected to add mileage to the country's installed capacity and largely addressing West Nile, whose disconnect from the grid has impeded growth in the area. Samuel Chirimunda, reporting for Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now elsewhere we get back to our report regarding microinsurance. The insurance sector has finally ventured into microinsurance space to leverage into the microfinance space to leverage microinsurance. With insurance products of up to 50,000 shillings, the unbanked population is the next front as Leshego and Turako combine to initially offer health insurance, which is targeting 3,000 customers by the end of the month. Emergencies such as illness, accidents and death are all covered. Ronan Ahawe reports.
It has been a long time since the idea of a national health insurance scheme was proposed, with a move to provide affordable health care to all Ugandans. As the government tends to materialize this in a significant step towards achieving this goal, Letshego and Turako Insurance have partnered to offer affordable insurance to underprivileged rural and urban communities. For as little as 30,000, individuals can now access insurance coverage, effectively mitigating risks in their lives. This collaboration has received positive recognition from the Uganda Microfinance Regulatory Authority and the Insurance Regulatory Authority as they expand their market reach and impact.
Product that will benefit the underserved. When you borrow from, let's say, Uganda Limited, you will not worry about falling sick. You will be covered under this partnership or under this innovative product that they have formulated. They will wait for you. Turako will cover that falling sick with Let's Say Uganda Limited. Then until when you stand on your feet and your farm to pay back your loan, you start from where Tulaho has covered. They'll be able to cover your falling sick like bills in the hospital. They are able to extend that, and instead of a borrower worrying on loan repayment or spending a lot of money in hospital bills, this is what this product has come to cure.
Served populations respond to unforeseen financial shocks. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to both of you in this momentous event. Ladies and gentlemen, millions of low-income Ugandans live each day under the constant risk of losing what little they have. This group is more vulnerable due to their minimal resource base. Consequently, they face a greater financial burden when struck by unexpected events such as untimely death of a family member, or debilitating illness, or an injury. For us, when we look at insurance is a solution. It's a solution towards these risks that our low-income brothers and sisters face. And the reality is that when individuals face unexpected financial difficulties, they're often forced to make difficult choices. And the good thing is that we're looking at a solution that is going to make these choices less difficult. Today's launch of Let's Say Go Insure is a significant step in that direction. As IRA, our mission is to create an enabling regulatory environment for sustainable, inclusive, and reliable insurance industry. So it's something that we recently changed. Initially, it was for sustainable growth of the insurance industry.
Letshego's CEO, Gilles Germany Ajikwe, highlights their microfinance strategy to empower the underbanked, promote financial inclusion, and protect families from unexpected medical expenses. Through their collaboration with Turako and utilizing Turako's technology, Letshego's customers meeting the criteria will be enrolled in Let's Go Insure seamlessly during the loan application process.
We have in the market a a product where a customer pays between 30 and 50,000 and can get cover for a year. In the Ugandan speak, most of us between 7 and 9 p.m. today, I think in one way or another, we've already spent that money, either on fuel or a rare act of kindness for a lady who came to you in traffic and you just dished out a 30,000. Somehow, we've already spent that money between 8 or 6 o'clock for those who are earlier birds and 9 a.m. today morning. But that value of 30,000 to 50,000, Leseho working with Turaco has been able to convert that into a cover for 12 months for a customer who has borrowed from Leseho.
It continues to struggle to penetrate the market because we are not partnering enough. The reason we are crafting out these partnerships is we believe Lechego is already serving millions of Ugandans. So if we innovatively tweak around that distribution channel and tag insurance onto what Lechego is already doing, then we stand a high chance of penetrating more numbers. Like I said earlier in my speech, by the end of this month we should have more than 3,000 Lechego customers on cover. Imagine if we were to sell an insurance policy, each individual policy holder, how long it would take to achieve 3,000 customers. So partnerships is the way to go, and I think if we can craft out as many of these partnerships as possible, then we stand a higher chance of bridging the gap.
So what does this partnership mean to you?
Simply put, more and more financial inclusion. This partnership is critical because we believe that in the first 1 year alone, we should probably have in excess of 30,000.
Let's Go Insure offers hospital cash and last expense cover, providing income replacement of 1 million Ugandan shillings during hospitalization and 2 million Ugandan shillings during financial relief for funeral expenses. And Habwe, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Elsewhere, we now talk digital export markets. As in a move to bridge supply, finance and market access challenges, Famonera has brought closer exporters and outgrowers in a digital marketplace to tap into the $500 billion market across Africa, Europe and the United Arab Emirates. This and more with Ronan Ahabwe.
Exporters, outgrowers and other stakeholders in the agriculture sector have been availed with a $500 billion worth market across Africa, Europe and the United Arab Emirates. Famonera, the platform architect, confirms the digital market provision as a solution to market fraud, financing and market access. Besides the Europe and Africa, the Middle East has been brought on board as a potential market for African suppliers, dealing particularly in fruits and vegetables.
That you think you are good in, out of the products you see there. And what are we going to do next is to get on the job of both assisting you to build the supply chain and also giving you the business so that you can do business directly with the buyers. We don't want to do the job of gatekeeping. We want you to do business directly with the buyers. Who pays us money? For us, we are contracted by the buyers to do as their sourcing agents. We house you exporters, we screen you out. We also onboard the farmers that are able to supply you locally here so you can fulfill those orders that the markets that we are able to channel to you.
So research and product development is very key in our area. Packaging, we are putting up policies and strategies to address the packaging solutions and systems. Standards, time and again, definitely, when you are trying to compete in markets, you know that your competitors are already thinking so fast, they want to continuously edge you out. So even us, every day we need to check on what is it that these markets are demanding. And information, access to information now again.
While the export value is currently at $4 billion and contributing up to 10% of the GDP, consumers still express frustration with bureaucratic tendencies, citing the Export Promotion Board and MAIF, observations that both bodies reject. According to Uganda Export Promotion Board, the highlighted concerns are misinterpreted efforts to streamline the market process.
We are at the 4 billion level. That's where we are in terms of exports. okay, which is about 10-11% of GDP. And when you're talking about merchandise exports, which are products, our exports are now at the 3.7 billion level. So these are the tangible products, including the fruits, the vegetables, and all those other products we are talking about. Of course, to make up the 4 billion, then we also have the side of services, where the tourism and all those other services come in. So that is where we are.
The Commissioner Processing and Marketing at the Ministry of Trade, Joshua Mutambi, emphasized the importance of research and product development in the industry, encouraging effective utilization of progressive digital technologies to access global and regional markets such as the free trade area. Still, exporters contend with the need of rudimentary farming to enforce quality assurance.
Data to evaluate weather patterns, then also soil conditions, crop health, and also market trends. So this data enables political heads make informed decisions like resource allocations, pest management regulations, and policy enhancements. Then there is improved access to information and knowledge. All of you have ever heard of different applications that the ministry has worked with farmers and the extension officers, including the e-knowledge management.
Yeah, the products get rejected. That's why we have to carry out organic markets. We have to carry out good agriculture practices, making sure that you have MRL levels in high MRL levels into your products, like using of chemicals. That's why we're in organic, making sure our products are natural. Because right now EU has become very tough in checking our products for residue. Whereby they have sent out a whole list of around 600 new pesticide residue chemicals that we find in our products, that we have to make sure that we tighten on our farmers to make sure that they do not spray our products and do everything into a natural way. That's why now it's always good to now go back to the rudimentary ways.
The platform intends to leverage digital market aspects to resolve boundary limitations and exploit markets across Africa, Europe, and the United Arab Emirates. Rona Nahabwe, Tumhimbise Isaac for Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now Business Today, we'll take a break, but we'll return with more. Stay around.